Very disappointing defeat tonight. Just feel like a team that's almost feeling sorry for itself at the moment. Obviously, we've got injuries. We're well aware of that, but you still have to put out a team that's going to try and get a result. And every time we approach the box, putting crosses in, it feels like there are token efforts to kind of get on the end of things, token efforts to kind of defend crosses coming into our box as well. Everton were no great shakes whatsoever today, and they've gone into a game with no recognised striker, Gylfi Sigurdsson and James Rodriguez up front. That's not a team to be worried about again. But, we treated it as if it was a game that, we're in no position to win almost, that, we haven't got the resources at our disposal to go and beat that team. Obviously, we missed Adama Traore today, but are you telling me that, we couldn't hurt that Everton side? I really don't think that there was really that much between the teams in the end. But apart from the fact that, maybe there's a naivety, a lack of experience of this team at the moment, but you can't have these excuses in the Premier League. It's too fine margins to sit there and think, we've got the excuse of injuries and things at the moment. But really disappointing, and not feeling that confident ahead of the big game this weekend. Obviously, we'll find out the extent of Pedro Neto picking up that knock. He might have run it off for the rest of the game, but I'd be surprised if he doesn't have some ill effects over the next 24 hours, 48 hours, and who knows what kind of condition Traore is in as well. And without those two, we simply, don't look like scoring a goal. So we may as well, be, evening ourselves up with a team who are really, really struggling in the Premier League at the moment in West Brom, and not looking that good at the moment.
What can you say? Massively deflating. Didn't think we deserved to lose that. We're missing so many key players at the moment. Jimenez, Adama, that they would have got us the win in that second half tonight, I think. Just massively deflated, I think. That one particular change, bringing Andre Gomez on for Tom Davis, they seem to just have a bit more midfield than us. Moutinho, as good as he is, he's not effective in the final third. I know we're not a big squad, but his deliveries into the box for a while have not been at the level it needs to be for a while now. Neves had a decent game tonight, unlucky with a free kick in the second half. But just in general, we're missing too many key players. Jordan Pickford's one of the worst goalkeepers in the Premier League, and we haven't tested him in the second half tonight. I think we may have had... I'm not sure if we had a shot on target in the second half tonight, which shows that we're lacking a bit of creativity going forward. Massively disappointing. I thought we were good value for the win after the first half, but forget tonight now. It's gone. Albion Saturday. Got to win. No ifs or buts. Got to win. Come on, the Wolves.
Really disappointing performance tonight. Obviously, we're missing 7 key players out of the squad, so I wasn't really expecting much. Real shame to see, obviously, Traore out and not even on the bench, so hopefully nothing too serious. But we keep on losing games. Obviously, we've got a few draws, but we're not really getting any wins at the moment. Apart from obviously the FA Cup, in the Premier League we are struggling, so it does look like we will need to get at least someone in the transfer window. We need some backup. As the commentary was saying in this particular game, that we just not got a strong enough bench. We haven't really got much options in attack on the bench. For me, I probably wouldn't have started Fabio. Maybe give Catrone a start from the start, if his fitness is up to it, because I just feel like Fabio is a little bit off pace. He does try and get in the right positions, but sometimes he just gets pushed around. He hasn't got that much strength. It's disappointing, really, but I kind of knew this was happening because looks like we're not investing in this transfer window, and we are going to be a weaker team, and we are going to finish in the second half of the table. And if that's what Fosun don't mind, due to it being a transitional period, then so be it. But if it's this transfer window or the summer, we have to get some people in. Hopefully Royal's back the next 2-3 months, but maybe the season will be too far gone by then. But chances of getting Europe is slipping away unless we can do something in the FA Cup. So Positives from today, I thought Morgan Gibbs-White looked pretty good. A few errors here and there, but he's only just come back from quite a serious injury. Coutinho, Neves, fantastic. Dendoncker did really well, but probably was to blame for the header going in. He was the guy that was meant to be marking. Hover looked good. Britannia, from what we saw of him, looked good. I can't really knock too many players. It's just obviously we haven't got too much attack. Ryan Nori was seeming to get better every game, and so does Samodo, but both of them still need to work slightly on the defending. I generally thought that we did look like an okay team. It's just the attack where the goal's going to come from. We can't keep on relying on Neves' free kicks to try and go in, which we know he's struggling with. Okay, he got a goal tonight, but some of the set pieces just we've been struggling with. But let's just hope that this is a wake-up call and maybe we get someone in the transfer window. They said they were obviously judging the situation, judging the games with Catrone back to try and work out what's needed, and hopefully, obviously I think it's the 1st or 2nd of February it closes, we'll have enough chance to get someone in. But that's it really. Good night.
As the old Sven-Göran Eriksson quote goes, first half good, second half not so good. I thought first half it was a really entertaining game. After we struggled out the first few minutes just understanding how Everton were playing. Once we grew into the game, I thought we looked really good. Obviously scored the equaliser. Neves in an advanced position, getting into the box. No, it was sort of from a set piece, but for him to make those runs really showed today, I thought. And going into half time, I thought this is good. This is what we want to be doing. Looking good for us going into the second half and can get something out of this game, because although Everton are in a good league position, I felt we could get something out of it. And after about 60 minutes, whether it was tiredness, whether it was just Everton making some good changes and Wolves potentially not making a great one in terms of taking off Gibbs-White, replacing him with a wing-back, not sure on that one personally. They just completely fell apart in my opinion. They really struggled to get any foothold in the game. Everton's more creative players came through. Their tactics that they were trying to implement the entire game in terms of switching out wide for strong crosses into the middle paid off. Of course, they had big Michael Keane up from the back to score, outmuscling Sace. A bit disappointing, but I don't think the goal was necessarily his fault, or even Aït-Nouri's as well. I've said second half, we never really looked like scoring, especially after Neto got fouled by Decore. Sort of was a bit gingerly after that and didn't really seem to get into the game. Got to step it up against the Albion.
Such a frustrating evening tonight watching that game. I thought for large parts of it we were very much the better side. I think that the lack of squad depth we've got is evident for everyone to see there at the moment. We're just so toothless at the moment going forward. I mean, we had a lot of possession, but second half, a lot of the ball, all for vanity though really. We never tested Pickford at all in that second half, which is really disappointing. The sucker punch came, and I thought we were well deserving of a point there. We need to try and do something as soon as possible really to, I guess, answer the questions that we've got going forward at the minute. Jimenez probably isn't going to be back this season. I'll be surprised if he ever plays again to the level he was at anyway after that horrific injury. So I know it's tough. I know we're in a pandemic, but Foden and or Nuno have got to see the problems we've got at the moment, that we're just so toothless. And even if it's a short-term option, again, I appreciate that you can't. I guess Foden's not going to go out and spend mega money on someone, the investment company, and at the moment, how can you quantify your investment if the season gets cancelled or even gets postponed, and we're paying over the odds for someone like Diego Costa $200,000 a week if that's what he's after, and 2 games later it's the season suspended. It's just not a good investment for us. But any help we can get, we need. I think Nuno's under a bit of pressure. I don't think for any stretch of the imagination he should be gone or anything like that, but he comes out, he can't keep saying that, coming out with the same things in the press conference, saying, the solutions are within, strengths in the pack, all that sort of stuff. It's wearing thin on a lot of people now. And, look, like I say, really unfortunate tonight. season really is going to be defined on this cup run and the 2 games against Albion now. Keep the faith, up the Wolves.
So, Wolves 1, Everton 2. A game in which really, with both teams having a couple of forward players, they actually started quite entertaining fashion. It was quite entertaining first half. Unfortunately, second half kind of degenerated really, especially for us. We didn't really create too many chances, if I'm honest. Any chance we did have, unfortunately, fell to Fabio Silva, who, sadly, right now he's not proving to be really effective at the moment. And I think if we're not going to sign a striker in this window, then we need to get Cutrone up to speed pretty quickly. I just hope we need to raise our game really. We're just looking a little bit forlorn at the moment, but hopefully we can pick ourselves up and remind me who we're playing again next.
Where do you start with that one? Yeah, it's quite a deflating result actually, I think, in the end. I mean, when the teams initially came out, I would say I was pretty optimistic, considering how many Everton players are out injured, how I thought that we could hopefully overrun them in midfield. I guess that did happen to an extent in the first half, but yeah, we never really created enough chances. It was a pretty open game, I think, end-to-end stuff, especially in the first half, but yeah, we struggled to contain the Everton fullbacks at times. Both Nori and Semedo really struggled, I think, from a defensive perspective, despite looking okay going forward. I think the tempo I was particularly impressed with actually by us in the first half. Despite us not creating a lot of chances again, I think it was really, really, positive half that I guess we're not really accustomed to. And then, so in the second half, we never really capitalised on our sort of possession with, a lot of players, I think, struggling individually. Both Fabio Silva and Morgan Gibbs-White, I don't think they looked off the pace. Particularly Gibbs-White, I think, for me, first, second touch, not good at all. We really need to step it up in terms of creativity. I'd start Cutrone, I think, on the weekend. We need players to be up for this game against our lovely neighbours. There's no, losing, drawing is just not an option. So fingers crossed for Saturday, and yeah, I'm pretty positive still that if we play like we can do, that we'll easily get the win. So fingers crossed.
Another defeat, 2 wins out of 11. Everton win 2-1 with 3 shots on target. Starting to become a common theme now. Teams aren't getting that many shots on target against us, but they're scoring goals. It seems like we need 7 or 8 shots on target just to get 1. The opposition need 2, and they'll get a goal. We need bodies. We need bodies. We need transfers. We need signings. But looks like that's not going to be the case. I don't think the board, I don't think Foulson are going to back Nuno this window, even though it's blatantly obvious that we need something. Looks like the league seasons are right off now. Can't see us challenging top 7. I'm not even saying that we would have got top 7, but just to be there or thereabouts coming into the spring would have been nice. But looks like mid-table at best at the minute. The cup, hopefully we can have a decent cup run, bring a bit of cheer. Albion Saturday, must-win game. Can't even take a point. We have to win that game. It's as simple as that. Failure to beat the Albion, and serious questions need to be asked about Nuno, because too many times now, team selection, throwing up too many question marks, team shape, formation, throwing it up too many question marks. It's just not good enough. There's not really much to say about it at the minute, apart from it's not good enough, and we need to improve. It's as simple as that. And it lies at Nuno's door now to use the players he's got and get more out of them. He needs to get more out of them, especially going forward. I mean, we are starting to dominate the ball, not dominate the ball, but have a bit more of the ball, but we're not doing anything with it, so it's quite pointless, really. We look really weak and fragile up front. It's not even that we look weak at the back. We actually look quite organised at the back, but whenever a team has a shot on target, it seems to result in a goal. And at the other end of the pitch, it's completely the opposite. Yes, I know we're missing Jimenez, which is a massive loss to any team, but we need to replace. It's as simple as that. And I think with Nuno saying the solutions are within the squad, points that he's going to rely on Silva and Cotrone. Now, Cotrone, all right, we'll give him a chance at his second spell at the club. Silva, I don't dislike the kid, but it's very, very obvious he's not ready physically. He's a mile off physically. He lacks pace at the moment to play at the top level. Me personally, I'd be looking to send him out on loan for a season or two, just so he can bulk up a bit, learn the game a bit, which leaves us relying on Cotrone. And I think with all the will in the world, I think we all know that he's not going to get the goals to sort of cause any damage on the league. So the only other solution is to not even buy, look for a loan. But the board don't want to do it. Now, I'm not sure whether it's because they're scared to spend more money, or they're not going to back Nuno. Now, if they're not going to back Nuno, it begs the question, is it because they're looking for replacements? Who knows? But onto the Albion now, Saturday. We have to win. It's as simple as that. We have to beat the shit.